Good morning! Today I'm going to be making My Hero Academia food all day, but only the top 3 waifus. Why? We already did the husbandos. Waifu number 1 is Uraraka, and she enjoys just mochi. That's all it says is mochi. Why do I do these things? It's good coffee. Now, because I haven't had breakfast yet, I did kind of have a plan of attack. I'm not gonna tell you who the other 2 are. You're just gonna have to wait. I'm gonna be making savory mochi, but we're obviously going to be using some Western ingredients for this. We're starting off with some bacon, and I'm just gonna cook it over there because there's a vent. And with a bit of a hand wave, our bacon is done. This is kind of how I like my bacon. This is getting 2 whole eggs. Yes, we're scrambling them because it has to go inside the mochi. Please, no shells, nice. Now my bacon is also pretty salty, so I don't need to season this at all because we're also going to be seasoning the mochi, which I'm gonna show you guys in just a second. I'm just making sure that I constantly stir this so this way I get some nice scrambled eggs, and this way the curds of the eggs are actually smaller. This way we can fit it inside of the savory mochi. I'm so excited to show this to you guys. Once this egg, literally to what, 30 seconds, kind of looks like this is done. I don't wanna leave it in here because I need to put it in something else. It will overcook if you end up leaving it in there because that pan is still hot. So I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna let it cool down in a separate bowl. With the eggs in here, I'm gonna add some cheddar cheese that I had diced into small cubes. This way, they don't fully melt. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically folding in the cheese into the hot eggs and bacon. This is gonna be our filling. That's gonna cool down. Now, mochi. You need a bowl, you need mochi flour, which if I remember, I'll put it in the link down below, but you can pick this up on Amazon. Do not follow the instructions on the box because the box calls for sugar. And again, we're not making this sweet. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna measure out 1 part mochi flour to 1 part like room temp water, which I just got out of the tap. So I hope it was room temp. Now you can season this with anything you want. You can make it sweet or savory. I don't care. You can make cinnamon toast mochi, which sounds fantastic and I wish I would have done that. I'm gonna be seasoning this with a bit of salt and quite a bit of black pepper. Now, once you have your mochi seasoned, we're just gonna start stirring this up just a little bit, and then we're gonna pop this into good old Chef Mike. And once it kind of looks like cream of wheat, if you've ever seen cream of wheat, this gets a lid, very important, microwave for 1 minute. This has only been 1 minute, and you can see it's starting to kind of be a little gummy. This needs to go in there 3 more times for a total of 4 minutes. Back over to Chef Mike. This has gone for 4 minutes. 4 minutes, 1 minute each time, and look at how glossy and stretchy that looks now. You can see it is like molten lava right now. I've let this cool down for a few minutes. This needs cornstarch because this is just gonna stick literally everywhere. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cornstarch on my cutting board. Oh God, need more water. Come on. It's incredibly sticky. We have to censor this. I'm gonna spread this out just a little bit. This is gonna stick. I can already feel it. This is okay. We can make maybe 3. Let's go for 3. Take a portion of our mochi. I'm gonna try to keep my hands wet so this way it doesn't really stick too much. I'm gonna fold this in on itself just to kind of make the mochi a little more even. Cornstarch here on the big cutting board. Place this guy right on there. Now I'm gonna try to stretch it out just a little bit. Then I'm gonna take. Do you see where this is going though? Yes, look at all that filling. Oh, that makes me so excited. Just gonna wrap this guy together somehow. You should be able to let the mochi stick to itself. Oh yes, we did it. Look at this thick boy. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Look at that little press. Oh my God. Guys, how exciting. How exciting is this? And then I'm just gonna place this onto this sheet tray with cornstarch, and we're just gonna let it sit while I struggle through the other ones. Look at this one down here. I am so stoked for that. That came together so nice. Maybe we'll do this on my future food truck because once I hit 1 million subscribers, I'm buying a food truck and I'm gonna serve you guys anime food out of it. This could be a fantastic food truck idea. We got 3. I need to clean up. Now with our mochi ready, I have my pan. We got a little bit of butter here. We're gonna just start searing. Yeah, we got room. Oh, baby. This makes me so happy. See what this looks like. It shouldn't take too long. Oh, yes. Like lightly fried in that butter. Give these 1 more flip before the fire alarm goes off. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my God, come on. There we go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I don't know what we did, but we did it. That looks good. Look at that. Savory mochi. It needs a little garnish, but I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna jump into this thick one right here. It's still really hot, but I'm excited. It's so hot. I can't explain to you. This is like a mochi hot pocket. Oh, baby. This is seriously delicious. But you guys need to make this. Stuff it with something and then get back to me. Good afternoon. Now, best girl number 2 is actually Sue Yu, and she has frog-like abilities, so I'm gonna be making frog legs. No, that's not okay. Her favorite food is jelly. I'm just gonna make this up. Oh, it's good. Should turn this into jelly. So this is what I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna be making coffee jelly in addition to 2 other jellies. This is just gonna be a weird day. I have a half a cup of cold brew concentrate, or you could use espresso, a half a cup of water, and then a 1/4 teaspoon, that's how much, a 1/4 teaspoon of agar powder. This is gonna help thicken it up. I don't know who would want this, but someone might. Now, because I like my coffee with just a little bit of half and half, that's what I'm putting in it. If you want your coffee to be slightly sweet, you can make it slightly sweet. Now I'm gonna cook this, bring it to a boil. This has to boil. We're gonna simmer it for 5 minutes, which you don't need to see. So we'll just go to the part where it thickens up. This coffee jelly has been simmering for a few minutes, and I don't want to let it go too long, but you do have to simmer anything with agar powder for it to activate. Okay, it's similar to cornstarch. Drop this into our container. Oh yes. Did my half and half just decide to curdle? I think it did. Damn it, I think I just curdled the half and half. That totally cooked. Nope, that looks disgusting. We gotta redo it. This is technically round 2, but nobody has to know except for you and I, huh? Now I'm going to add just a touch of half and half. Yeah, it's like we just heated coffee instead of actually boiling the half and half. So I'm gonna see if this actually congeals the way I want it to before I do the other 2. So this guy has been in the fridge for about 10 minutes, still kind of warm to the touch, but you can see it's starting to solidify. I don't want to mess with it too much. We're gonna let this hang out for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour while we finish the other 2. They're gonna be very interesting. I don't have a lot of faith in this. I feel like this whole day is just experimenting with things. So that's what we're here for. So I have pomegranate juice. We're making pomegranate jelly. I've never made pomegranate jelly before, but I'm actually really excited for this because this is delicious. So good. Now you want to use juice because this is going to give you a better jelly than using something like jam. And that's simply because there's no other pectin or anything in this. So I'm doing 1 cup. I needed actually, that was a little shy. 1 cup of pomegranate juice or orange juice, apple juice, whatever juice you want really. Now to this, same thing. 1/4 teaspoon agar powder. Make sure you put it in when it's cold. Use a thing that doesn't have coffee on it. Stir it up. Bring this to a simmer for 5 minutes. After about 5 minutes of simmering this pomegranate, I'm gonna place this into my hopefully heat-proof container, and then this is gonna cool down in the fridge, and we can actually make the last piece. And the last piece is going to be jellied peanut butter. I don't know how I feel about this because I love peanut butter. But we're gonna do it. Let's say 3/4 of a cup of water because we're gonna add some of the peanut butter to it. 1/4 teaspoon of agar powder. Quick stir on the agar, make sure that's kind of incorporated before we add the peanut butter. And then 2 estimated tablespoons worth of peanut butter. This is weird. I'm still looking forward to whatever this might become. I just don't know what that might be. It's great peanut butter. Shout out to Adam's All Natural Peanut Butter. I wanna make sure that this peanut butter breaks down completely. Okay, simmer, 5 minutes, we'll come back to it. This peanut butter has been going for about 5 minutes. It's way more thick than the other 2 were, so hopefully it stays together. It might be because of the fat, like you can see, almost like a smoothie, which is really interesting. Now this is also gonna have to cool down for the next 30 to 40 minutes, and I'm gonna go get a loaf of bread for this next part. I got the bread. It's from a local bakery. There's like 3 local bakeries. This is one of them. We got coffee jelly, peanut butter jelly, and pomegranate jelly. Let's just put this together. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think the coffee jelly would look really nice in this, so we're gonna pop it in here. And listen, if you wanna make your own whipped cream, you can. I like Ready Whip. This is coconut, so there's no dairy in it, which does make this still vegan, if you really care about that. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. Oh, can we just, come on. Look at that, that's perfect. Just gonna do one of these, plop this, oh God, plop this all in there. Little cubes of joy. Do a little more whip. More cubes right on top, then more whip. Oh yeah, it's just a little, just so we know it's there. Look at that. That looks delicious. Then pomegranate jelly. Can this pop out too, maybe? Give it a little help. There it is. Look at that. This is a little more fragile. It's actually okay. If I'm gentle with it, it's not falling apart, so that's good. Now for the peanut butter. The peanut butter is the one that never mind. This works perfectly. I don't even have to say nothing, look at But I'm still going to try to make this pretty even. There it is. It smells like peanut butter, my friends. Oh yes, this is the weirdest sensation. Now we need a piece of this sourdough. We're gonna do an open face PB&J because this is a nice bread. As you can see, I've already had my time with it. That'll do, nice chunky piece. Toaster. All right, I got my toasted bread. Boom, plate. I think we're gonna we do a little bit of the peanut butter first. Peanut butter jelly. This could be an interesting take on a dessert. Then we take pomegranate things. You want to impress someone? Maybe make them one of these. It smells like peanut butter and jelly. 100% smells like peanut butter and jelly. Will it taste like peanut butter and jelly? That's the question. I'm gonna put just a couple more of the peanut butter cubes right on top, just to break up the way it looks. That looks good? I think so. And there is lunch. Suyu's jellified lunch. Yes, I could have made the bread out of jelly, but I didn't want to go that far. I like bread. Currently 3:30 in the afternoon. I finally can eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich that took about 2 hours to make. So cheers. Okay, it tastes like peanut butter and jelly. A little more gritty because that's what agar naturally has, like that texture. And the peanut butter isn't as strong, but it tastes like peanut butter and jelly. Oh my God, that pomegranate jelly. Oh my God, I love that. Coffee jelly, chase it, you know? It's coffee jelly. There's nothing to not love about this. But now we have to do waifu number 3, which sounds very weird. They're in high school. You can't say now we have to do waifu number 3. What is wrong with you? Good evening. I had to put a long sleeve shirt on because it's getting cold in the house. I am going to be making katsu curry for dinner. There's a reason for that, and I'll get to that once we start eating. For this katsu curry, we need all of our curry spices. And these curry spices are actually from my cookbook for the pineapple curry fried rice, which is pretty interchangeable. I only have a few of these left, so if you want to pick one up, chefpk.com. Now here's the thing with Japanese curry, is that honestly, one of my favorite curries is just golden curry. You can absolutely use this, and honestly, if I were making this not for a video, I'd probably just be using this. The other big difference in using something like when you're making your own curry spice versus using the packaged curry is the packaged curry uses vegetable oil, and instead I'm gonna be using butter for my roux. This is how they're able to make that shelf. Where did it go? What am I even pointing to? This is how they can make this shelf stable. This uses vegetable oil. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that stuff. It's delicious. But if you have butter, you can use butter. If you don't have butter or it's a little bit too expensive, because yes, I know butter is not cheap, feel free to just use oil when you're making your roux. So I'm gonna melt down 4 ounces or 1 stick of butter. This is 4 ounces of butter. To this, I have all of my spices. What the hell is what? Coriander, granulated garlic, cumin, mustard powder, ground ginger, paprika, cinnamon, turmeric, chili flake, all of the stuff. I think I got all that. This is all gonna go in and we're gonna cook the spices with the butter. Cooking the spices with the butter helps bloom the spices, and this gives it like a nice toasty flavor. Basically think of it as like unlocking the spices. Oh yes. I wish you guys could smell this already. I mean, look at the color on this. This is super simple. Now, once that butter is melted, this is not gonna be cooking for a long time. You actually don't want this to go too long, otherwise it'll get too toasty. Just when it's melted, this is when I add 4 ounces, so 1 part butter to 1 part all-purpose flour. You can see that, just 1 part. This is 4 ounces of flour. Drop that right in there, get some of it on the floor. But we wanna cook this for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, just until you cook out that flour. Now at this point, my curry is done. We're gonna take this off the heat. Now, because I'm lazy, I'm gonna be making the curry now in this same pot. I'm not gonna clean it out. It's gonna be totally okay for what we need it for. I'm gonna place in just a small like drizzle of oil. It's probably like a, I don't know, tablespoon. And then immediately put in a half an onion and like 1 carrot. This is just a little bit of flavor. You can throw in garlic, you can throw in ginger, you can not put anything in this if you really wanted to. But because I'm gonna be pairing this with just a few surprise ingredients later, now once the onions and the carrots are kind of tossed around in that little bit of oil, I'm gonna throw in about 32 ounces worth of water. Now with this, I'm gonna bring it up to a simmer and let it continue to cook until those are softened, and then we throw our curry in. This way, we can utilize this space for something else. The next part is going to actually be katsu chicken. Yes, we are gonna be making katsu curry. I'm just gonna trim off just a little bit of the fat from this chicken. Now this guy is pretty thin. I actually don't need to do too much. I'm just gonna actually open it up a little bit. You can also pound this out, just open it up just a little. And then I have my breading station, seasoning the panko with a bit of salt and my flour with a bit of salt. First, we take our chicken, place it into our flour, make sure it's completely coated, give it a nice press, and then it goes into 1 beaten egg. Once this is nice and coated, this goes straight into your panko breadcrumb. Give it a nice press, make sure this is also fully coated. Trying to make sure I have 1 wet hand, 1 dry hand, best practice, but sometimes things get messy. We can save this because I'm probably gonna make some more later, so I'm just gonna set this to the side. And since we don't need to fry the chicken right now, I'm gonna place this behind me while we finish that curry because it's starting to simmer. This is ready to go. Hopefully I have fire. Okay, this was just simmering on the other stove, and I'm pretty sure those carrots are getting nice and soft, so we're just gonna place in a bit of our curry roux to start. You don't wanna do too much because it could thicken up too quickly. So I'm adding just a little by little. I might need to get a whisk. Oh yes, you can already see it starting to thicken up. Definitely needs a little more, like maybe another just small scoop of this. I don't wanna hear it about this with the Teflon. I'm barely touching the bottom. It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine. Oh, that got thick. Now the last thing I really need to do is season this with some salt, because no, we did not put any salt into that spice blend. And optionally, but I really like it, a bunch of cracked black pepper, because I really love black pepper in my curry. Stir this guy together. Now we get to give it a taste finally. Oh yes. This still needs to simmer for another like 3 or 4 minutes, but we're gonna cook the katsu while this is going. I have my cast iron here filled with just a little bit of oil at around 325 degrees. I'm gonna drop this in here and we're just gonna shallow fry it. I'm excited for this one. This is gonna be good. Oh baby, come on, yes. And since the chicken is so thin, it really doesn't take very long to cook. And that, my friends, is done. Look at this chicken. Can we get an enhancement? Enhance? Look at that. Here we go, finally, dinner. Beautiful plate. A nice, hefty portion of the curry. A little bit of fresh cabbage right there, make it look beautiful. Fresh lemon on the side, just in case you want a little bit of citrus. Let's cut into this chicken. Oh, that's so pretty. Chicken katsu curry from Momo. Now, the reason why I'm having it like this instead of with rice is because of this one thing. I also have cold soba noodles on the side with a bit of suyu sauce, which we made suyu stuff earlier. Anyways, this is Todoroki's favorite thing, cold soba. You see what I'm doing here? Do we understand what's happening here? This katsu curry also represents Bakugo and Deku in a way, because yes, it is spicy, it has that nice curry flavor to it, especially with the chili flakes, and then katsu is one of Deku's favorite things. I have all 3 best boys here with Momo. Get that out of your head, please. Oh my God, this looks so good. My mouth is literally salivating right now, look at that. Oh my God. Spicy, it's creamy, it's rich, it's crunchy, it's salty. Oh, get a little bit of the soba, dip it in the suyu. And the suyu is slightly sweet. This is fantastic. What a way to end this, but how you should end it is by getting subscribed, because at 1 million subscribers, I'm buying a food truck and I'm gonna feed you guys anime foods, some of which we may have made today. My name is Chef PK, and remember, keep playing with your food. I'm not gonna ninjutsu away.